The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has commenced enforcement of a ban on the production and sale of alcoholic beverages packaged in sachets and small PET or glass bottles below 200 milliliters. A statement by the organization stated that the enforcement was supported by the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. However, this move has been condemned by various unions and the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, as they cried the disruption of the businesses of its members in the wines and spirits subsector by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, saying it is inimical to the profitable operation of the companies concerned and will certainly hurt the Nigerian economy. Joining us on this show to discuss the ban on sachet alcohol and the reactions it's currently generating across the country is Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, Director General of NAFDAC. Good morning, Professor Adeyeye, and thank you for joining us on the morning show.
Good morning. It's good to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Bless you, Prof. Happy New Year, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Happy New Year,
Thank you. Happy New Year. Thank you.
Well, Prof, I don't need to rehash the narrative, but are you guilty as charged that your agency, NAFDAC, is trying to destroy other people's businesses? I tried to defend you a bit yesterday when we had the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria Director General, Segun Kadiri Ajayi, and I was reminding him that, look, there was an agreement, there was a directive, and then there was an extension based on meetings between both parties. But he says NAFDAC is just engaging monologue and that you just do what you like. And hence we have had the protests we've been discussing this week. So please, madam, can you defend yourself?
Thank you very much. The mandate of NAFDAC is to regulate and control the manufacture, importation, exportation, advertisement, distribution, sale, and use. Sale and use of 7 regulated products, including alcohol under food. When I joined NAFDAC, my directors, that was 2017, my directors kept telling me about sachet alcohol. I didn't know what sachet alcohol is. I happened to go to a company and I saw a pack of it and I thought it's a breakfast grain or breakfast bar rather, because the packaging was so nice, so colorful, and I touched it, it was liquid. And my directors just giggled that they said that is sachet alcohol. I said, sachet alcohol? With about 43-45% alcohol, the concentration of alcohol, that can be easily squeezed into a pocket of a primary school, secondary school child. So we said, what can we do? This was 2018. Let's reduce the volume, the concentration, and engage manufacturers. But before we even started engagement, AFBTE, Association of Food and Beverage, and DBAN, the distillery group, they've gone to the Ministry of Health to complain. So we were called and a lot of discussions went on. This was 2018. Professor Adeyeye was the minister at that point. Finally, we came to agreements that, okay, because they mentioned, this was 2018, that it will affect their business. Professor Adeyeye said, okay, let us give you 5 years to reorganize. And we gave 5 years. FCCPC was at the meeting, NAFDAC, Ministry of Health, DBAN, AFBTE. We all signed that by after 5 years, they will not sell alcohol in sachet. We are not banning alcohol. We approve alcohol in different packages. It is only in small packages that we are banning. We all agreed. And the moratorium expired 2024, January 31, and we started enforcement. But DBAN and AFBTE took us to the House Committee on NAFDAC, and they told us to suspend it. It's a ministerial decision. I believe it was maybe middle of 2024. The then Minister of State, Dr. Alausa, went with me because they invited me to a committee meeting, meaning the committee on NAFDAC in the House. They invited me to a committee meeting, and Dr. Alausa went with me, only to find out it was an ambush. It was a public hearing. So myself and Dr. Alausa found ourselves in a big room of about 100 or more than 100 people. And Dr. Alausa said, this is an ambush, but nonetheless, let us discuss. At that meeting, AFBTE joined DBAN to say that that agreement is not official, that agreement was under duress. These are our clients, our stakeholders, that are telling us that we signed an agreement and it was under duress. I was ashamed that day that if somebody is watching from outside the country and trade sectors are telling us agreement is null and void, that it was under duress, they said we should suspend. We held off because there was a lot of discussion going back and forth throughout 2024. And then December 2024, the minister called me, said there has been some discussion, we should give 1 year moratorium, an extra 1 year above the 5 years that we have given before. And that 1 year expired December 2025. And the Senate then gave us an order that we should resume enforcement because the Senate now knew that Manufacturer Association of Nigeria or whatever, DBAN and AFBTE wanted another extension. Why are we doing this? We are doing this because of children. We are doing this for health's sake. Our goal is to safeguard the health of our citizenry. And our children are part of that. So we are doing this not to punish company, it is to protect children that can easily get access.
Yes, ma'am.
And that can easily consent. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The number of questions that have been raised in the last few days from the stakeholders who are against this ban. One of which is that there are other ways to discourage underage drinking. That why is the solution to everything banning when it would have such significant economic impact, including the loss of up to 5.5 million jobs? I'm just telling you what they said. Then they also mentioned that in the time of the moratorium, NAFDAC was still issuing, allowing the production of these sachet alcohol that if you knew you were going to ban, why did you continue to give license to them to produce? And then finally, I have an order of interim injunction obtained by a group who sued, who presented to court, and the ex parte order is dated 22nd of January 2026 to ensure that agents, task forces, and representatives to stop you from continuing with the enforcement of the nationwide ban on the manufacture, distribution, and sale of sachet alcohol, or at least until the next hearing. Have you been served this notice, and to what extent would that impact this, not going back on the sachet ban?
Thank you very much. We were honoring the moratorium, the extended moratorium that was given by registering within a period, meaning we are obeying, we were trying to obey the legislative because of the extra 1 year. And Food Registration and Regulatory Affairs of NAFDAC knew that this was temporary. 1 year moratorium is 1 year moratorium. So we were actually honoring the industry. We didn't know that they're going to use it against us. That why did you register during that moratorium? I think we are learning our lessons now that we shouldn't have even listened or register a product at that particular period. You mentioned that there are many ways to curb to curb the use of alcohol in children. They said there was a discussion because the union engaged me. We had an interaction in my office last week that we should put label, do not use, under 18, do not use. In Nigeria, are we kidding ourselves? Are we really kidding ourselves? In Nigeria? Who is going to enforce? Who is going to enforce? This sachet alcohol are sold in buckets. They put it in buckets, in garages, and it's 50 naira, 60 naira per pack. Very cheap. A child can easily get that. Who is going to enforce? Do we have national ID that is digitized so that the mama in Ojota will go on her computer and check, oh, you are under 18, I cannot sell for you. Let's stop kidding ourselves.
Okay, well. Okay.
The
court order.
Yeah, the court expert order.
The court order. Have you gotten?
Have you been served?
We have not been. No, NAFDAC has not been served, or if we have been served, I've not been given that. But the legislative that made the law, we need to change the law.
Okay.
So that, because we have to abide by what the legislative said. And they gave us the order, Senate gave us the order to resume enforcement.
Okay, ma'am. I mean, I hear your arguments, and I support you in most of the areas of the arguments. Take, for instance, when you talked about the fact that, in fact, some people have sent me that the Canadian model, that they will do your ID, all of that will not work in Nigeria. Let's stop kidding ourselves. I mean, all of that is not going to work in Nigeria. I am happy that we've heard today that they said, oh, it's no longer the case of, because yesterday they said there were no negotiations. I'm happy that you said you still met with them last week. I'd like to ask you, when you first discovered 44% alcohol, are there any moves to reduce the alcohol content? Because that's terrible. Because the argument they are also making is that it's because of the economy. It's a sachet economy. Everything is in a sachet. That's why they also do, and they need to sell their product, and that will move faster. Can we both try, because we want solutions now, and nobody wins in this war. Can we both try to say, can we even get the alcohol level to about 10 or below 10%? Is it scientifically possible, ma'am?
Actually, it is scientifically possible. It is not just the volume, it is the pack size. I was talking to a principal last week. Today is Thursday. This week, actually. And the principal said that in his school, a district in Lagos, a student said that he cannot study. He cannot study for exam without a sachet alcohol, without use of sachet alcohol. We are making our children addicts. Addicts. By the time a child, let me tell you, the body of a child is not that of a small adult. It is a child's body. The metabolism, the mechanism of action of the physiological functions are different. So their bodies are not ready for even 10%. Beer is 6 to 8%. When a child starts early to start drinking, there will be a probability of liver cirrhosis by the age of 35, 40. Because you are frying your liver slowly with alcohol over time. And they started when the liver was not fully functional. When the liver of a child is still the liver of a child, not that of an adult. So scientifically, it is possible, but it is the pack size. I have another principle that by the time it is 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, a child must have taken 5 of these sachets.
Okay, can I ask you this as we go, ma? What do we do apart from ban? What can we do apart from ban?
Okay. It is to continue to manufacture in bigger volume. We are not against alcohol. We have not shut down any company.
Okay.
It is pack size that we are after.
No, but there are evidence that you shut down some companies. In fact, there are pictures here that enforcement have been done on some companies that we can see NAFDAC seal shutting down some companies, National Agency of Food, Drug and General Control, and they have been shut down in Enugu, in Ebonyi. So you have shut down. So saying that they've not shut down companies have been shut down, ma.
Lines are being shut down because in a company you have that make alcohol. You have the ones that, the lines that are for big bottles. You have sachet lines. We are shutting down lines. We are not here
Prof.
to disrupt trade. We are for trade.
Prof. Yes. Just before we go, the MAN Director General, Segun Adeyeye, was here yesterday on this program. And he said, NAFDAC always engages in monologue, that you hold meetings with them. But when you hold meetings with them, you don't ever listen to them. Are you guilty as charged?
Actually, it's unfortunate that Mr. Adeyeye Kadri was playing to the gallery. We were having regular meetings, quarterly meetings with MAN. And I'm ashamed to hear him say that he was playing to the gallery. That relationship stalled when they took us to the legislative without informing us, without discussing. So it is on their side that they want they are all about money, not about health. We are about health and good investments. We have brought over $2 billion of investment into the manufacturing industry for drug alone because of our regulatory system that is getting stronger. But we cannot sacrifice our children on the altar of trade. We cannot sacrifice our children on the altar of trade.
Okay, very quickly, Ma. There's a question here from a number of our viewers who are asking me that, do you have evidence to support the claim of sachet alcohol abuse by children and evidence to show that it's linked? Because that's another area that the stakeholders have said, that there's no direct link and there's no evidence to show to support your argument. I mean, we can see the evidence clear, but do you have statistics on that?
I also want to add to Aya's question, ma, real quickly, ma. I want to add to Aya's question, ma. Do you have evidence that if alcohol manufacturers make alcohol in bottles bigger than 200 ml, children will not still get access to those alcohol to drink? Do you have any evidence to support that also, ma?
That is almost very obvious. Will the child hide a 500 ml bottle in his pocket to class? No. It is all about concealment, about ease of concealment. We are not after alcohol at all. Anybody, an adult that wants to drink alcohol, of course, they are free. We are approving alcohol registrations every day.
All right. Okay.
So it's about concealment, and we want to protect children. Let me, before we leave, in 2010, Nigeria signed an agreement, World Health Assembly, 2010, 193 countries signed it, that we will not make alcohol to be easily accessible to vulnerable populations. 2010. What are we doing about it?
Okay.
What are we doing about it? Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so very much. Just the question around statistics and research in a minute, because that's something that's come up a number of times. Is there anywhere we can get to that research to link it?
It is easy to really do that.
Okay.
We have been going around schools.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, ma'am.